Hey, good morning, ladies. Good morning. Good morning. I'm back. I am back. I'm so sorry we couldn't meet yesterday. Pretty much the only thing that puts me down, and I mean puts me down real good, is a headache. And I had the worst migraine headache yesterday morning. And I just could not get out of bed. This mama could not hang. So Brian let me sleep in. Oh, yay. Katie Main's joining. Hold on. Good morning, Katie. Hello, everybody. Yay. We just started. So I was just apologizing for not being here yesterday morning. I had the worst headache, and that's just about the only thing that will put me down is a headache. I can't, anything else I can hang, but a headache, migraine, I cannot. So I apologize for that. But I also just kind of needed to take a day. Drop a 1 in the chats if you've ever just felt like you just needed a day. It just took me a second to really, honey, come here. And Brian's not feeling well this morning, so he went back to sleep. And Huntley's looking for a binky. Huntley, come here. Go find a binky, sweetheart. Go find one. Okay, well, mommy's on this and daddy's taking a nap. Go find a binky. Okay, then go play and watch Frozen. Okay, so she's watching Frozen out in the living room and she's mad that daddy went back to sleep. She runs in there and she keeps saying, up, get up, get up. So anyways, I'm sorry if you hear her crying in the background, but that's just mom life. Sorry, babe. Good, he's up. Poor guy, he can go back to sleep in a little bit. But really what I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning, Huntley, is when we get overwhelmed. And I talked about this a little bit on our Zoom last night, but I didn't go into depth on it because I feel like it's just not something that I like to share with like the entire world. But I will always share with you guys here, and I'm sure other people will watch it too. But I just I like sharing with smaller groups better. But I was just feeling like my whole world was like going to fall apart. Like I literally was so overwhelmed that I did not know what to do. And I know that this is going to sound really bad, but hear me out. So I had 2 loyal customers and a distributor join while I was sleeping yesterday, literally in the morning. Like I was helping them sign that night and I fell asleep. I woke up, had a bad headache, didn't touch my phone until like 10 or 11. And I had woken up to this distributor had already signed up. And the 2 loyal customers that I was helping had signed up themselves as well. So this is like blessings on blessings on blessings, right? I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. Like I literally couldn't hang this morning and you just gave me these loyal customers and distributors. And that distributor actually charted my mother-in-law back to double diamond, which gets Brian back to triple. Everything's on track this month. Like we are so close to it. And I was just feeling so blessed. And then I started realizing how many people I had to get back to. I still had to prep for my power hour. I still had like all of these, I hadn't eaten any breakfast. Like, you know how your day just gets so far away from you? And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know where to start. How do I get this girl started, but also get on this power hour? Like, I just was overreacting instead of just taking a moment. I should have went and taken a shower, listened to some music, you know what I mean? Like really got my mind right. But instead I was just in this panic mode. And I'm telling you this because I think it's normal. And I think it's okay for us to do that. As much as I was beating myself up yesterday, I think it's so normal for that to be our main reaction of just pure panic of like, I'm overwhelmed, right? And sometimes it's negative stuff. Like sometimes it's not always positive stuff that we're overwhelmed with. And there was a couple of those thrown in there yesterday with just things that I couldn't keep up with and I was feeling upset about, right? I told you guys last night on the Zoom about what happened with that host to post that got deleted and had over 30 comments on it of people interested in TFX. Like I just was like, wow, what's happening? And so I set down my phone. I was hanging out with Brian and Huntley, and then I went into my room and started putting away my clothes, and I started listening to my favorite song right now, Lauren Daigle. Oh my gosh, I'm going to forget the song right this second. but Lauren Daigle has a song that I'm literally obsessed with. And Peace Be Still, I think is what it's called. Peace Be Still, I think. Anyways, I was like belting it at the top of my lungs. I was putting away my clothes, and I just started feeling all of this anxiety like lift off of me. Everything was just like, everything's going to be fine. Like, doesn't matter how many messages you have, doesn't matter who needs help right now. You need to take care of you. And I really had to force myself to do that, because I always like to force myself to make sure that I'm there for everybody else, right? And so sometimes I have to make sure that I'm there for me. And so as I was doing all of that, I came out to talk to Brian, and I was like, I know what's happening. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I've been praying this prayer of Jabez every single day. And I've been asking him to expand my territory. And I've been asking him for more blessings every day, every single day. And he's doing it. He's doing it. But he's doing it at a point where I can't keep up. Like he's blessing me. I'm asking him for these blessings. And in this book, it talks about that. If you guys have not read it, I want you to read it today. Like, it is so unbelievably good. And he talks about that. He talks about how when you start doing this every single day, there might be a time where you have to ask God to chill. Like, you have to ask him, like, Lord, I want your blessings, and thank you for blessing me. And I am not by any means, I hope you know my heart, I'm not by any means being ungrateful for the blessings that were coming in, but I have never asked to be blessed like I have this month. And so every day that I'm asking for these blessings, he's doing it, and I can't keep up. I'm too overwhelmed. And so yesterday I just kind of had a moment where I was like, I don't want you to stop blessing me. I just need a little bit more guidance of how to navigate this. How can I be more prepared to handle these blessings? How can I, not be stressed out, or, walk me through this. And I need guidance. I need help with this anxiety. And, right now I'm not just a normal Rochelle that I normally am. This baby, y'all, with Huntley, I was not tired. I had a perfect pregnancy with Huntley. Other than the first 3 weeks, not first 3 weeks, but like the first 3 weeks that I found out that I was pregnant with her, I think it was like week 8 through like 11 or something. I had something called hypermesis or hypermeses. I don't know what it's called, but, where I literally couldn't even take a sip of water. Like, if I took a sip of water, I would throw it up. Like, I had to go get IVs full of fluids and nutrition, because I couldn't keep anything down at all. And that was like 3 weeks of absolute hell, let me tell you. But I have something called Rh negative. And so my body was like rejecting the pregnancy, if that makes any sense, because Brian is a positive and I am a negative. And so our babies are at risk when they come into my body, because my antibodies start to attack it like it's a foreign object, even though it's not, and it's my baby, and my body should not be doing that. So I had other than that 3 weeks, I had an incredible pregnancy with her. I don't remember ever feeling tired until like the very end, maybe like a couple weeks at the end. I remember feeling uncomfortable, but like, who isn't when you're pregnant? Like, that's something we can all live with, right? But this one, I've literally, like, Brian's caught me in places asleep that's like, what in the world? Like, I just fall asleep all the time. I'll be like, oh, okay, that power hour is so great. I'm just going to sit here and catch up on my couch. And he comes in and I'm sleeping. Like, I cannot stay awake. I cannot stay awake for like more than 4 hours at a time. And I know it's the pregnancy, and I know this little boy is growing like crazy, but it got a little bit better when we first got into the second trimester. And then now it's like, I swear it's like getting worse. Okay, this is the type of fights that Brian and I have. I'll let you guys in on a little secret here. So the other day, they're always the stupidest things in the world. And remind you, I'm hormonal and pregnant. Okay, so we have an extra TV. We've had an extra TV for legit the 5 years that we've been together. Okay. We've had an extra TV that just sits in a room, just sits there. It's not hung up, nothing. Okay. It sat in storage forever while we were traveling the country. And then here it just got stuck in a room. And I was like, I want that in our bedroom. And he was like, nope. Like, Brian never says no to me. First off, let's just be real about this. Never says no to me. Okay. about the TV in the bedroom, it was like he was stomping his foot, like, absolutely not. It's not good for your health. We will not have we will not have a TV in our bedroom because I will want to go to sleep at 6 p.m. every night. Like, this is his own issue. Okay. He's like, I'll want to go to bed and just watch TV at 6 p.m. every night. And so we're not putting the TV in the bedroom. And I was like, I'm going to go put your daughter to bed, and that TV is going to be in that bedroom, or so help me God. Like, I was so like, I cannot sit on this couch any longer. Like, my body hurts for whatever reason. I just wanted to be in my bed watching This Is Us for 1 hour of me time. Okay. Just let me be. That was our fight, straight up. Like, I'm not putting that TV. And I was like, so help me God. So he set it up within like 15 minutes. And I told him he couldn't be in there. That was a couple nights ago. I was like, no, this is my time. Like, go. Me, I had popcorn. I had chocolate milk all to myself, all over the bed. It was like the best me time ever. But I don't remember why I told you that. There was a reason for that. I don't know. Me time is like really important to me lately because y'all, we're quarantined. Brian said last night he went to go pick up a pizza. This actually made me really, really sad. And it made me even more grateful for this business. But he went to go pick up a pizza, and he said 3 people, there was only like 4 or 5 in there. And he said 3 out of those people made a comment about how they wanted to kill their spouse or kill their kids, or they were not going to survive. Like, they were not going to survive this quarantine. And he was like, it kind of shocked him, because he was like, well, this has been our life for like 2 years now. Like, we've been straight up in a 30-foot trailer for an entire year together. No way out. Okay. Like, we have just learned how to deal with each other, and we've learned how to, and don't get me wrong, it was freaking rough there for a minute. It was rough. Like, there's a transition period that you have to go through, I think, with anybody, with your spouse, with a roommate, with anybody, right? And so it kind of made me sad, because I was like, man, that's what people are like saying, instead of being like, wow, I've been working for 15 years and I missed my kids growing up and now I get to see everything. Like, you would think that would be exciting, but here's why it's not. And I guarantee it has nothing to do with the person that they married or the kids that they're raising. I bet you that it's financial stress. I bet you that it's some sort of other stress that is causing them to feel like they're going to go insane. And that was something that I was literally, last night, I started going over everything that I was grateful for. And I really stopped to be grateful for the small things. Like, I literally was thanking God for the good tires that are on my Suburban. I was thanking God for the full tank of gas that's in it, even though we haven't used it. I was thanking God for the food in my fridge. I was thanking him for the roof over my head, the comfortable bed that I get to sleep in every night, that I get to be with my family all day long, every day. Just like little, I know that sounds like not so little to some people. I was thanking him for coffee, for like an unlimited supply of coffee. Like, no joke. I was thanking him for all these things that you would never think of. I wasn't thanking him for the amount of money that's in my bank account. I wasn't thanking him for, and not that you shouldn't. Okay. I'm not saying that that's all his money, right? Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I got back to basics. I got back to basics of like, holy crap, look how blessed we are. And how many people are laying their head down on their pillow at night and are not able to say, thank you, Lord, for the food in my fridge. Like, thank you, Lord, for the gas in my tank. Thank you, Lord, for the good tires on my truck. Like, how many people are able to do that? And Renee says, having to homeschool my 13-year-old is brutal, and I'm a teacher. Yes, I know. I think it's all just a transition period. We've never been through this before, right? We've never been through it. But I challenge you, Renee, when you get off this, I want you to write down 5 things that make you grateful for being able to be your 13-year-old's teacher. Because it sounds so silly, but when you do it, I bet you'll start to enjoy it more, because you start to see it from a different perspective. And I'm not saying you don't enjoy it, but I'm just saying we start to see things from a different perspective. And Katie says, I don't know, I'm about to have a breakdown with Granite. I had the biggest paycheck ever. I love my children. JK, I love my children home. Yeah, no, y'all, as moms, like we got to have our own space. And I feel like this quarantine is really not allowing us to. So make your husband put a TV in your room and lock yourself in there for a night, because I'm telling you, it was the best night ever. Okay. Casey says, shifting from the I have to I get to is so true. Just really, like, you know, we have been able to go to the park every single day. This is another thing that I was grateful for. Like, we take Huntley to the park every single day. It's just like a teeny tiny little neighborhood park right around the corner. And I saw one of my friends back home in Oregon sent me a picture of her park, and it's literally taped off with like crime scene tape. Like, they're not allowed to even go freaking swing on a swing. Like, it broke my heart. And I don't know if you guys are dealing with the same thing, but I'm just like, that broke my heart. Like, it broke my heart that kids can't even go play on the freaking swing. Like, let them play for 10 minutes, wipe it all down, and then let the next family go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's stupid, but I'm just saying we're all going to survive. Like, only if we can let our kids play, though, I'm telling you. I'm about to buy a swing set. That's a good way to look at that. Yeah, we could get our own swing. We could get our own swing. Oh, I'm blessed to have a pool in our backyard. Y'all, that was Brian's dream. I'll tell you something. I'm not a big swimmer. Like, I like going to the beach and I like tanning, but like I don't really like swimming. Like, I'm just not like a big swimmer. But Brian's like dream board, like straight up would not move anywhere, even in Oregon, without a pool. Like, he has to have a pool. And that man still, every single night after we put Huntley to bed, after he goes and plays with the dogs, he gets in the pool, even by himself. Like, he just loves it. And it's so great to see, because like the other night I was just watching him, like just playing in the pool by himself. He's got like this scuba thing on. Like, he bought this scuba thing that he wears, and he's like diving for stuff like a 5-year-old. And I literally had the most grateful heart. Like, that, all that man wanted was a flipping pool, and God provided that for us. And I don't know, I feel like the only way that we can all get through this, call me a robot, Katie, but I feel like the only way that we can get through this is really just by looking around at the things that are going right. Because if we start looking at the things that are going wrong, it's just going to be a freaking panic. It's just going to be a panic, and we're going to have anxiety. We're going to not be able to breathe. We're going to not be able to sleep. And it's just going to eat us alive. And I feel like if we can find the good, then we're all going to. Good. Hi, baby. Thank you. If we can find the good, is there somebody on the phone for me? You got 2 binkies. Then everything will just go so much better. Okay, I've been talking too much. Let me read this Self-Reliant Entrepreneur. Katie's mad I didn't sing to her. Katie loves, you have 2, yeah. Katie loves when I sing. Sometimes I sing on my story, and then I go hide in a closet, because I don't mind, like on my dream board, it literally says, find a local church. Oops. It says, find a local church, serve, and be on the worship team. Like, straight up, my entire life has been to lead worship or to be on a worship team. That's been like my dream forever. And the dang churches are closed, so I can't even find a home church here. But yeah, Katie always loves when I sing. What day is it? 16th. Joy with duty. Honey, if you're sucking on your sippy cup, my goodness. Okay. Bear with me. Thy symbol be the mountain bird, whose glistening quill I hold. Thy home the ample air of hope, and memory's sunset gold. In thee let joy with duty join, and strength unite with love. The eagle's pinions folding round the warm heart of the dove. John Whittier, 1857. Can you do things well and with beauty and love at the same time? One of the things that trips up entrepreneurs from the start is that they take stock or learn through some brief endeavor what they are good at and what they are not good at. The problem is, few people are good at anything they have not practiced at times for years. Okay, take it to daddy. Take it to daddy. You're welcome. Don't touch it. Don't play with it. Take it to daddy. I don't want you to drop that. Sorry, guys. How do you know what you're how do you know what you're not good at doing? Can your dream afford for you to make that assumption? Sometimes doing something you love means you have to find something you're no good at that you think you hate. Often that's where your passion is hiding. You've never done what you're about to do. No one has. That's what makes it yours. Figure out what's beautiful about what you love and get good at it. What's something you've tried and given up on? This actually just reminded me of Renee. Not that you've given up on it, but figure out what's beautiful about what you love and get good at it. Maybe we need to find the beauty in teaching your 13-year-old. I wonder what their take on it is. Like, I've been wondering, I've been curious. I have a lot of friends that have multiple kids, like 3, 4 kids. And they're like all of a sudden learning, like one of my friends, Christy, is learning how to do math for her son. She's like, I'm learning how to do like 5th, 6th grade math because I don't know how to help him with this. Like, this is so tough. And I was wondering to myself, like, I wonder what their kids are going to look back on and think. Like, I love this. And I know that it might seem hard and really hard right now, but I wonder what they'll look back and think of this. Like, my mom taught me for a while, or, you know, I loved when my mommy got to teach me something. Like, I just want to know their perspective of it. And maybe if they're 13, they're probably just sitting there like, come on, can this be over? I want my teachers back. I'm just kidding. Oh man, when Huntley's 13, I'm in trouble. That's all I gotta say. Okay, I'm gonna read the devotional. The big, pretty picture. A wife of noble character who can find. She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Proverbs 31, 10 through 12. When I read about the Proverbs 31 woman, I'm both inspired and overwhelmed by her example. She made food, bought fields, generated profits, bought a vineyard, traded, stayed up late, got up early, clothed her family, stylishly dressed herself, and was a dynamite teacher, all with a whole lot of wisdom. She served the poor, ran her household, was never lazy, and her children adored her. Her husband and community constantly praised her. I want to be like this woman. Most days, I wish I could check just one of those boxes, and I would consider it a big win. It is very easy to feel inferior with this snapshot of womanhood taped to my mirror, calling me to look like this someday. But the Proverbs 31 woman is not a real woman. This is not Mary or Elizabeth or Rachel. This is not a portrait of an actual woman at some ultimate moment in time when she has it all together. Proverbs 31 is a big picture view of the life of a woman of noble character, not a description of someone who does all these things perfectly all at once. This description of a woman of noble character shows us what God values and gives us something to aspire to, but he also gives us seasons. As newborns grow into toddlers, then adolescents, then young adults, our responsibilities as parents change too. The same applies to our lives as women of faith. There are seasons of young children and there are seasons of empty nesting. There are seasons of community involvement or business, and there are seasons of keeping our heads down and focusing on our family and marriage. There are seasons when we have margin to buy that field and the fixer-upper house on it, and completely different seasons when we can take the time to seek out from afar and cook the perfect paleo, organic, no red dye food for our family. We must not feel bad for devoting ourselves to the season God has called us into. Are there things we'd like to do once we have more time? Of course. Do we have ministry goals or work aspirations for when the time is right? Absolutely. But let's commit to praying for wisdom to know what God is calling us to do right now to bring him glory in our particular season. Being obedient to that call will be what paints a beautiful picture, big picture of life that points directly to him. Where do you sense God is calling you to focus in this particular season? What might you be called to set aside in order to bring him glory in what you are doing? I love that. This reminded me, and Lisette said, I want to be this woman too. Yeah, don't we all? Good Lord. Good news was the end of that, where he said, that's just not real. So that gives us hope. That gives us hope. We can be, it's so funny because I think everybody who's been in this business has understood this, whether or not you're brand new or you've been in for 4 years. I think you can understand that there is a lack of balance in owning your own business, especially with a multi-level marketing business, because there will be a whole week where you're just killing it in your business, but like your marriage is pretty much trash. Or there will be, a week where your marriage is on fire, but your business is in the tank. Or where your business and your marriage is great, but you feel like you're being a bad mom. Like there's always going to be seasons where we have to work on things. And how I've mastered this, y'all, I have not mastered this. I don't think I've put on makeup since this whole quarantine thing started. Like I have not mastered this. Hair is not brushed. It was washed and put back on top of my head. Okay, that's it. Like that I pick my battles with myself. Okay, like if I want to be a good mom that day, then screw getting ready. Okay. No, I'm kidding. Most women are not like me and they can actually do all the things. But I just like to pick the things that are most important to me. Yesterday, because I had a really bad headache, I got up late and I came out and I sat on the couch. And that's been a no-no for me for this entire month. Like sitting on the couch to drink my coffee has been something I always love to do. However, when I do it, I have a hard time getting up, getting in the shower, getting dressed, making sure that my team is up for the day, not up for the day, but you guys know what I mean? Working on things, my new distributors, getting them tasks, things like that. So when I sat on the couch yesterday, I literally immediately felt anxious. I felt, how dare you sit down right now? Like you can't, no, like you have to go do the things that you need to do. And as I sat down on the couch to drink my coffee, we couldn't find Huntley. And I don't know if you guys saw my story. And it for a split second, it broke my heart. And then the other second, it made me really proud. Proud to be her mom. So I'll tell you what happened. So we couldn't find her. And me and Brian are stuck out there watching Frozen for the 57,000th time. And I'm like, where the heck did she go? And I hear my worship music playing on my keyboard. She can hit play. But it's locked, my keyboard's locked, but she can hit play. So she was playing the music and she was going like this in here in the office. She climbed up in my chair and she was praising to worship music. And then I found her, I'm walking in here and she's on her phone and she's pushing the buttons on the keypad. And for a split second, my heart sank because I was like, I don't want her representation of me to be me always in here working, right? But then I was like, why wouldn't that be a good thing? And not her representation of me being working, but her representation of where mommy is most of the day is that she can open up those doors wide, come up, climb in my lap, and we can play, or we can go out there and do whatever. You know what I mean? I now am able to work my business from home. And if she wants to be like me at 2 years old and climb up in her chair and act like she's on the phone and turn on her worship music, then that's a pretty dang good example. Am I right? I don't know. It made me so excited to just be at first I felt like this mom guilt. And I told you guys this the other day, I've never experienced mom guilt before. And I mean, in my last 2 years, I know I've only been a mom for 2 years, but I've never had mom guilt. I've never understood when moms say, I just can't, I can't be on my phone all day because of her. And I've always been the opposite of that, where I'm I'm gonna be working all day because of her. I just have, I've never felt that guilt until I started working in this office. because I started seeing that she would be like, mommy, like, come play. And I'd be like, oh my God, okay, I'll come play. But listen, I get to just stop whatever I'm doing and I get to go play. And not a lot of moms can do that because they might be at serving jobs or they might be at, at office jobs or whatever. I know we're all home right now, but you guys know what I mean. Like back when the world was like normal and going on like normal. It's just really opened my heart. And lately I'm doing the best that I can. Lisette said Ellie took over my It Work shirts and it's her favorite thing to wear. That is the cutest thing ever. I love that so much. And I love that this company, I wouldn't even say this industry, this company allows us to really give that vision. And you know what? Like Huntley might not want to be a rap girl. Like that's cool. That's totally cool. But this business will provide her whatever she wants to be. This business where we're at will provide her in whatever she wants to be. And I love that she, I think it was Kay Souter, and I'm almost done, guys. I know I'm keeping you a couple minutes over, but I think it was Kay Souter. I was at a try-it here in Florida. It was at our first try-it that we went to since we moved here. And Kay was talking about watching her mom work growing up. And she was like, I don't really remember how much she worked. I know she worked a lot, but like, I don't really remember that. I remember her being at all the dance recitals. I remember her being at all the volleyball tournaments or whatever it was. Like, she was like, I remember she was at everything. Even though she worked a lot, she was always there for everything with me growing up. And then she said, what was crazy is when I started this business with her, because Kay was like, Kay went to college and was like studying abroad. And this is Pam Souter's daughter, you guys. She was studying abroad. She didn't want anything to do with the business. She'd really never asked about it or knew about it. And her mom was Pam Souter. Okay. Like, it's not like she was just a distributor, like ambassador. Like she was like the owner of the company, like what's that called? President, vice president, whatever. She's a mutual owner of the company. But my point of this was that it really hit me when Kay said, I didn't really realize who my mom was or what she was about or how other people looked at her until she went to her first conference. And she was like, dang, my mom's a badass. Like, she was like, look at her. Like, I had no idea. Like, she's always just been my mom. She's just been my mom that's been there. And I got to go and see her and learn from her and watch her. Oh, the door gets stuck, honey. We'll have Daddy fix it. And it just rocked my whole world. Cause I was like, I want that for my kids. I want my kids to not remember the work, because obviously this business takes a lot of work, but it also gives us a lot of freedom. And I think that when we focus on that, it'll come so much faster. It'll come so much faster. And so many of you have so much momentum right now that it's absolutely insane. You're not letting anything get in your way. And I think you want to say hi. And I think you want to. This is your big thing. Say hi. Look, Lisette's waving at you. Hi. Hi. You're a big keep. Okay. She has two. But look at Eliza right here with Renee. Do you see her? Do you say hi? Hi, that. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh, the momentum. I think I'm going to use Katie as a perfect example. She's up at 5 a.m. on this Zoom, and her Wi-Fi has been like in and out and broken for like literally months. You guys, she's been trying to figure out ways to work. She's still getting her customers in. She's still working her business, and her Wi-Fi has just been absolute crap. But she keeps coming to me, telling me, I know I'm going double. I know Riley's going double. She knows where she's going. She knows where she's going. Nothing is going to stop her or get in her way. And I think that it's just so important to understand that, because we can sit here all day long and say, well, I didn't get there because my Wi-Fi wasn't working, which is a pretty dang good excuse. Am I right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't even work, that's pretty tough. But she's still believing that God has a plan for her and that it will come through and that it will happen in due time. And, we've got Christy Bird, who's got 4 kids at home. She's homeschooling all of them. They're not, you guys, these are people that had their kids, they had routines. They had their kids in school all day long, all of them, and they were able to work their business all day long. But somehow, with all 4 kids home, She's actually enrolling more than she ever has before because she needs it now more than ever. Okay. Like it's just about what we're willing to do. And, you know, I was talking to one of our leaders yesterday about like, she's got a young son and she normally has some help about 3 days a week. And she was like, how do you do this? How do you do it with a toddler? How do you do it with a toddler with Brian home? And like, and to be completely honest, and I'm not discrediting Brian in any way, but this is most of my day. This is most of my day right here, where she's in here, wants to be with mommy, working with me, and she's not disrupting me by any means. Yeah, say hi. Say hi. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. But I am very much on mom duty all day long, okay? But it's what's most important to me is number one, being her mom. Okay, number two is making sure that I am completing my steps to success every single month. And in order for me to do that, in fact, my goal is actually to complete it 3 times. And in order to do that, I have to work my business every single day. And if I get caught up in, I don't know, I just can't because Huntley's like all over me and she needs too much attention and blah, 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 blah. What in the world am I going to do when this little man comes? Like, I've got to figure out how to make it work with the chaos. And that's what I told her, is just making sure that we're not letting our whys become our excuses, and that we're stepping up and doing whatever it takes to get to where we need to be, because this momentum will not last forever. Okay, we saw the momentum last year, right? The momentum took a little bit longer to come this year, and now I'm going to ride it into December. Y'all try and stop this train. Like, I am not going to stop this train. And I'll be the first one to admit that after those first 3 months of momentum, because I've been in the business 4 years, so I've experienced this momentum 4 times. Okay, so this momentum, normally at the end of that 3 months, it's like, okay, we're good. We promoted. Now let's just chill. Let's just chill for a second. We were going crazy. We were pulling out our hair. We were like running so fast. Like, now we got to chill. When you chill, your whole freaking team chills. And that's why we lost rank in August. And that's why we are not, that's why we were not continuing that momentum and continuing to grow. There was people who promoted to ambassador in November. Okay. That should have been me, but I stopped back in March because the momentum stopped, because I stopped, because I wanted a break. I will never do that again. Mark my words. I always say mock my words. I don't know if it's, Brian says it's mark my words. I always say mock my words. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I say mock. I don't really know what it is. But my point is that I will not stop this year, because I'm no longer working my business at a point where I can't keep up, except for what I just told you about yesterday. I was about to lose my mind. But what I'm saying is, normally I'm doing what I can when I can. Mark my words. Okay. I always say mock. That's the wrong way, but I feel like it could still be the same. Like, mock is basically, like, mock me, like, say what I said, right? So mark, okay, never mind. It's fine. Mark my words. Because I just feel like I don't want to run so hard that I can't catch up anymore. I don't want to run so hard that I burn myself out. And I don't want my team to do that either. I want us to run consistently at a pace that we can handle, that's consistently rewarding, that's completing our steps to success. And we can promote in a time like November, and we can promote next month, and we can, you know what I'm saying? Like, hi. I just really want to continue this momentum. And I think that as long as we continue as a team, say hi. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, now I'm just blabbering, but I just feel like I'm just ready. I'm just ready to find a pace that we can keep up with, and not something that's going to, like, short us out at the end. Everybody's like, Mark, Rochelle, it's Mark. Okay. I love you guys. I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you tomorrow.